Donna Nestor from the Mississippi Department of Education and David Bloman from the Delaware Department of Education share their thoughts from a state perspective on the importance of communications and how stakeholders will perceive the financial transparency.
In Mississippi, we already produce a report. It's called the Superintendent's Annual Report. It's available on our website, and we have some selection criteria where we report by district a per pupil expense. So it's already out there, and listening to some of this, and your question I think originally was, what do we see coming once the data is available? So what we already see is this comparison. You know, we'll look at District A compared to District B. They're spending $12,000 a student. They're spending $5,000 per student. And then now they can flip over to the accountability website and say, and look at these test scores. So I think we'll see more of that as we start reporting it down to the school level. Within the district now, there'll be comparisons between schools. So I think that's the challenge on the district level, because the communication is going to have to be there. Exactly what is that cost reflecting? I think some of the other things that we have to look at, even within our state, is the difference in the makeup of the district. What makes up that cost? If there's a high cost component because of exceptional students, exactly what is driving that cost maybe to be higher. And even within school districts, you've already touched on that. If one school is serving a high need population versus another school that does not, of course those costs are going to be higher. So I think those conversations are going to be had, and like Indianapolis, it's going to be a lot of a campaign of communication, making sure that the community and the parents understand that. And I think another thing we cannot forget is looking at these communities. I can name a few right off the top of my head in Mississippi where parental involvement and community involvement is so great that they're willing to put the money into that school to have these extra programs, which is also going to factor into that cost. And so then when the district comes under fire, or that school comes under fire for, oh my goodness, look what you're spending per student versus what this other school in the district is spending, but because of location, those parents are the contributors. And, you know, if they want to offer basket weaving to their students, they're going to. And, you know, those opportunities are just going to be there based on those communities.
Yeah, I think I would echo that. I think I don't think there's a broad awareness at the LEA level yet about the implications of this. I think they've been waiting it out. We've waited in Delaware to really engage our LEAs until we felt like we had a little bit more to engage them on, but that is coming. And I think those LEAs in communities where there is high parent involvement, high stakeholder involvement, are going to have to start answering a different type of question than they've been used to answering. My experience, having been a CFO at a district level, is districts and school boards are generally used to dealing with kind of the ad hoc members of their community that just happen to be interested in school finance. Ultimately, the districts can generally, this is a bad term, but kind of fend them off if they need to, right? School finance data is complicated and it's intimidating, and there's always a yes but from the district, right, that can kind of get through that issue. I think to Sharon's point, I think real change will come when it's not just that type of questioning and conversation that's happening at local board levels, but potentially deeper questions about, you know, allocations as opposed to what the conversations that typically occur at the board level in most LEAs.